And welcome back to the Morning Blend. You know, a lot of women, especially moms, feel like they are doing absolutely everything they can to feel good, look good, and then juggle it all too. You know, with kids, a house, after school stuff, you know what I'm talking about, sometimes a job too. Well, today you're going to meet a mom who does all the right things to look and feel her best. So what's the problem? Listen to this. Sarah Addeo is like a lot of busy moms. Every minute of the day is packed with things to do, which leaves very little time for her.
It's a lot of work, and more than anything else I've ever done in my life, beyond emotionally, physically, being present, I think, is the hardest for a mom.
Sarah's day starts out early.
Okay, you're gonna have to walk a little fast.
She gets her oldest daughter out the door for school.
You got your purple on.
Then it's time to walk Julia to kindergarten.
Are you my hugging girl?
Yeah.
Then a little one-on-one time with her youngest, Zoe. Then Sarah's day really kicks into high gear. As a fitness expert and personal trainer, Sarah does a lot of teaching, like this kickboxing class. She's always pushing her students to give it their best shot. Sarah does all the right things. She eats right, drinks lots of water, exercises regularly. She's super fit. There's just one problem.
When I look in the mirror, the first thing I see is all my brow marks, which started about 7 or 8 years ago when I had Emma, from hormones and all the skin damage from my years before. The worst one is the one here. And then they're pretty prominent. My kids love to point them out to me. Oh, am I gonna have those one day?
When she looks in the mirror at 41, she'd like to feel as good and young on the outside as she does on the inside.
What I really want out of this is not to be embarrassed of my brow marks, bottom line. My hope is just to be able to look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, I don't have to look at this mark, and my kids point these marks out and say, Mom, am I gonna have those one day? Am I gonna look like that with those? And that's sad. I don't want that.
That's where Wisconsin Vein Center and MediSpa comes in. They're planning a facial makeover that's more than skin deep. For this busy working mom, it's a chance to look and feel her best on the inside and out.
The one thing I like to say for myself is that I'm proud of myself to really step forward and make that stand, and not be afraid, not have the guilt, and really want to enjoy feeling my best. Those are the 3 things right now that I can only, from my heart.
And Sarah's here now along with Dr. Deborah Mangione with the Wisconsin Vein Center and MediSpa. So nice to have you both. We're like all crying just looking at our kids and thinking about it.
It's overwhelming.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
Why is it? Is it looking at your kids and realizing all that you do?
Oh, it's crazy, because you don't do that. I mean, you just don't do that. And to see from a distance, I saw it just briefly. I'm kicking. I'm like, oh my God, my energy. I'm like crazy. And just to give yourself away all the time, it's vulnerable.
Yes.
And self-indulgence, a sense that you want to take care of yourself in a different way, which is the outside. And I've rebelled against that because I felt that, well, to me, it was kind of weak, you know?
Kind of selfish,
totally
right?
selfish.
And I appreciate the fact that you didn't wear any makeup today.
Yes,
I think
very
you're
brave.
Yes, it's very brave. You're very beautiful. I think usually when I see you, you're not wearing any makeup.
Here's your tip. Thanks.
Pay me later.
Pay you later.
But yeah, it's the brown spots really bother you. I didn't know, because I've known you for years, I didn't know how much it bothered you.
Oh, yes. I mean, when I go and look in the mirror, exactly what they did, I do this if I wash my face, because it's bright and you see it and you're like, oh my Lord, there's a lot of them. And it makes you sad. It makes me not feel that good about myself, even though my persona of what I do and what I love to do is in my heart. There's just a sadness and a vulnerability that I don't show because of that, you know?
Yeah, and Dr. Amanda, why did you cry? Same reasons?
Well, similar things. You know, I think you can understand too. You're a very busy mother with a career. I have been all my life. And it is a matter of running around and just trying to do for the kids all the time. And this is something that, one of the reasons I started my MediSpa 8 years ago was because I realized that there are so many other women who aren't taking the time for themselves and who don't know what there is available today, so much more than in our mother's generations. You know, I look at what I have and I think, oh my gosh, if my mother were alive today, she would love to be here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really think there's so much that we have to offer, not only just to beautify somebody or to get rid of imperfections, but to improve the quality of their skin and to improve their overall outlook on life, because they can feel and look as young as they feel.
Well, and that's the thing. There's so many women, I think, like Sarah. I know a lot of them, they do so much to take care of themselves. They're fit, they exercise, you know them too, Sarah. But they, you know, I think of all of the things that we do in a day, and really, we're still women, and what we really want is, as we send our kids off to school and feel good about all the things we've done, we want to feel good about ourselves too. And so much of that is our putting our best face forward.
Right, and we're not going to stop aging. We know that, but we'd like to all age gracefully, but put it off a little.
Exactly.
You know?
So let's talk about what you're going to do for her, because specifically the brown spots, what kinds of treatments, what kinds of results do you expect to see with her?
Well, I think Sarah really is an excellent candidate for intense pulse light treatments. We call it AFT, Advanced Fluorescent Technology, because we use an ALMA light source that actually is a very new generation of the type of energy it can deliver using any unused energy, filtering some wavelengths out at one end of the light spectrum to be able to actually put the energy back into the treatment. So in what we used to be able to accomplish with 5 treatments of intense pulse light, we can now do in 3.
Amazing. Has she had any yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Sarah's been, you know, we've actually put her off so she could be on the show and have everybody see her from ground zero.
Okay, so you're going to do those 3 treatments. We're going to do a big reveal in December.
Right.
We're going to check in on her progress over the next couple months to see how she's doing. Will those eliminate some of the fine lines that she has as well?
Yeah, it's going to actually help a lot with the fine lines, and with time it's going to help even more because it helps to rebuild a little bit of collagen. We lose 7% of collagen a year from the time we're about 25 in our skin.
Ugh.
Yeah, so you know, there's no way to catch up on all that.
Right.
But we can rebuild about 2% with a treatment.
I know that skincare is going to be really important to her, and you've already given her some tips on how to really take care of her skin, and one of the things she's going to have to do is wear SPF and stay out of the sun.
That's right.
So avoid sun damage.
Ultraviolet A and B protection. Very, very important.
Okay. For other women who are watching, I think a lot of times they say, I don't know if I need intense pulse light or if I need different facial rejuvenation
and they
things.
don't have to make that decision. If they'd come in for a complimentary consultation, we can sit down with the individual and really map out what's the best customized plan for that person. You know, and for Sarah, there are other things. We're going to be putting her on good products. We may talk about a little bit of, we want her to look serene and happy and relaxed. So even though she's energized and doing all her very intense kind of violent kickboxing, she's going to look relaxed and serene. And so we may use a little Botox, we may do a little bit more, but you know, the big thing is to get her skin up to quality. And that for Sarah is going to be with intense pulse light and some skin products. For other people, and again, a lot of it even depends on somebody's budget, we may use some other things that we have. But we have some great pigment peels. We have wonderful skincare products that people can start with at home that really help too.
To do on a daily basis. In a word, because we ran out of time, how do you feel about all the stuff that we're going to be doing?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. And when I have to tell kudos to them, because I'm not a person to step forward in this, and I was nervous because a lot of people, when you think about doing this, it seems, again, has that vain feel of, oh, I'm going to do this. And you made me so comfortable of, I want you to be you, but I want you to be the best you. And that made me feel, okay. That made me feel really good and secure about stepping into this as something that I wasn't sure about. So, and I've told many people about that because I don't want someone to say you have to do and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? You didn't make me feel like that.
Well, good.
It made me feel great.
It's so great.
Yeah,
We're going to give
thank you.
people information so that you can get a consultation and find out what kind of skincare treatment or procedures, products might be right for you. Again, the consultation is free if you call the Wisconsin Vein Center and MediSpa. They're located in Pewaukee. The phone number is 262-746-9088. WIMedispa.com. We have our Kleenex here. It was great to talk to you guys. Thank you so much.